Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to Q&A Mondays with Dr. Elizabeth. You guys have asked, hi. Oh, hi, Lola Sky. How are you, sweetheart? Nice to see you. Hi, Dr. Brittany. Hello. You guys are so cute. It's so nice to see all of you. Good morning, Janan. Mwah. So nice to see all of you guys. Good morning, everybody on YouTube. Come on in. Everybody's piling in on Instagram. It's amazing to see you guys. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend. It's really lovely to see all of you. Thank you for the waves. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love. Happy Monday. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good morning. You guys are so cute. Good morning. It's so nice. Thank you for all the hearts and all the love. It's so nice to see all of you guys. It's so nice to see everybody over on YouTube as well. Oh, good morning, teacher. It's nice to see you, sweetheart. Good morning, Dr. Brittany. So nice to see everybody. Thank you guys for all the hearts. Thank you for all the love. I really appreciate it. Oh, okay, so this morning we're going to, good morning, Dolores. Very nice to see you. So we're going to go ahead and do Q&A Monday. So I just want to open it up here. I have a question that someone asked. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, everybody. I'm sorry. Desiree Hall asked a great question on Saturday when last time I was live 2 days ago. And so I promised her that I would, hi Angie, nice to see you, sweetheart. I promised her that I would answer it today. So how to heal a slow thyroid. That's a great question, Janan. That's a great question. Okay, I'm going to start with that, and then we're going to go into the question Desiree asked. So first of all, with regard to thyroid, or balancing any hormones in the body, it's imperative. You guys have heard me say this many times. So the very first thing you guys have to do, if you're having hormonal imbalance at any age, or if you are having problems with your thyroid, it's imperative that you go to a healthcare professional. It's imperative that you go see your physician. I'm going to tell you why. We have a lot of problems with people self-diagnosing now that we have Google, now that we have so many sites on the internet where you can bring your symptoms and people can do diagnoses over the internet. You guys know I'm a doctor. I'm not old school when it comes to a lot of things, but I'm really old school when it comes to this. So Janan, for you and anybody else who's struggling with thyroid issues, the most important thing to do is find yourself an amazing physician who is in the same alignment and in the same frequency with your philosophy about your health and your life. Hang on, it's getting very warm. So I'm gonna say, first of all, guys, I just have to show you. I have my Cute Booty outfits on. You guys know I'm an ambassador for Cute Booty, and I just got this. It's so cute. I just want to show you guys before I take it off. But I am getting warm, so off it goes. All right, so let's keep on going. All right. Years ago, before pre-internet, we had this, it's interesting because today I want to talk about balance. So it's really interesting that this is coming up. Pre-internet, we had this concept of physicians being very old school and kind of harsh in their thinking. Not all, but some, most. I'm the doctor. I know everything. You know nothing. And this is what you have to go do. With the onset of the internet and everything swinging this way, now people are like tired of, hang on guys, just a second. I am getting really, hang on just a second. This is very warm in here. Okay, so now with the onset of the internet and people taking responsibility for their own lives, it swung this way, which is amazing. Just to blindly listen to a physician is not what we want to do. That's never what we want to do. What I'm inviting you to do is marry the two, like with everything I talk about. So we have over here, we have your own awareness of your body, your own awareness of what is right for you, your own awareness and intuition, your own inner knowing about your own body. You've inhabited, you have lived in it for at least, I mean, my youngest subscribers here are usually around 13 to 15. So for at least 13 to 15 years, and for most of you, 20, 30, 40, sometimes even more plus years, you've been here and you've been in this body. So you know, especially if you have begin to hone awareness, like I've been teaching you to do here, you begin to have an awareness for your own body. So what we want to look at is we have ourselves here and awareness of our own body, which I teach you in my privates and in my group coaching program, how to hone and develop so that you develop your intuition, you develop your own inner knowing, your own inner wisdom, your own inner guidance. That's wonderful and that's great. And you're still not, most of people listening here are not medical professionals. And so I don't want you guys self-diagnosing and self-treating. I want you to have self-awareness. Now, we take that newfound self-awareness and we marry that with a physician, he or she who has done years and years and years of studying, not just on the internet, but years. We're talking 8, 10, 12 plus years of study in medicine. So you go ahead and you use your own inner knowing and your own inner wisdom and your own inner guidance and your own intuition about your own self. And then you begin to manifest and call forth the physician who you really resonate with, who has a similar philosophy to the philosophy you want to have for your own health care and your own health and well-being. And then together in collaboration, you and your physician that you find work together for your best health and well-being. We've never lived in a time like this where that's even possible, where you can, most people literally, I can't remember, I just read this book and for years, I know, it was Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Wonderful, wonderful book. And I just read it, and he literally is talking about the same principles that I channel. It's like it's the collective consciousness that we all have access to. And so he literally is talking about the same thing I do. 99.9, he says 98%. I think I see it as 99.9% of the population is completely unconscious. He said 98%, but it's just half a dozen of one, six of another. It's about the same thing. So, hi, Orna. So nice to see you here. Sending you lots and lots of love. You and Jeremy. And so all that to say, most people have been unconscious, and now you guys are starting to come listen to me here. You guys are starting to work with me. You're starting to wake up. You're starting to have better awareness of yourself. So now we want to marry those two. We want to marry our own inner knowing and inner wisdom, along with not just blindly following a physician, but actually beginning to work in collaboration with your physician. You pick one that you really, really like, who's in alignment with your philosophy, and then you work together. Does that make sense? I want to see hearts over on YouTube if you guys agree with this. And I want to see hearts. I'm seeing lots of waves. I want to see hearts if you guys are in alignment, if you get what I say and you're in alignment with what I say. So give me hearts over here on Instagram. I'm looking, and I want to see over. Very, very good. And I want to see over on YouTube as well. Perfect. Okay. So now to answer Janan's question, for anybody who is, there we go. Those are the hearts over on Instagram that I love so much. Thank you, guys. So the reason I just want to let you know this. Now, you've heard me say this a couple of times. The reason I love seeing the hearts over here on YouTube, hearts and comments, Otherwise, I feel like I'm just talking to the camera, which I can turn the camera on and talk to myself all day long. Yes, very. Thank you, Michelle. I'm seeing hearts. I'm saying thanks. Yes, that makes sense. Because as I share this, it's like a two-way conversation. With when you guys give me those hearts back, when you give me the comments back. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Angie. It's like a got it, and now I can move on to the next thing, because it's really important for me that I don't just talk. I hate when a speaker just talks at people. I've spoken at so many conferences, and I see this so often, and it drives me crazy, where the speaker thinks he or she is right, and they literally just talk at the audience, and they shove information down their throats. Not my style. I think it's terrible. And I'm not a fan of that way of doing things. I like to share things, and I like to then tune in with you guys and say, hey, do you guys resonate that? You guys got that? It's almost like a tuning in. It's like a conversation. We're friends. It's like a conversation. It's like a conversation, the connection with somebody that you love, that you're connecting with. I share, and then you say, yeah, got it. Love that. And then I can continue. Cool. And thank you guys. I'm seeing lots of thank you, JD. I appreciate it. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Nicole and Angie. Hello, Beast from the East. Hello, beautiful. Hi, Lynn. Okay, very, very good. So let's continue. Let me just wrap this up. So, Janan, to answer your question, the most important thing is to have an awareness yourself, and to have enough awareness to pick the right physician. And then together with your physician, you design the approach to your thyroid issue. And if he or she says something that doesn't feel right in your gut, you guys have a right to say to the doctor, that doesn't feel right. Can you explain that better? Why are you choosing that protocol? And if they say, because I'm right and you're wrong, you don't have the right physician, because there's enough wonderful awakened physicians out there that you can find a good one. Okay, enough said about that. Okay. Very, very good. All right, so that's how you approach that. Okay, Dr. Brittany asks, how do you approach This is such a great question, Dr. Brittany. Okay, we're going to talk about this. Mainly, we're going to talk about this because really everybody loves when I talk about this. Everybody loves when I talk about relationships and intimate relationships and love. So Dr. Brittany asked a phenomenal question. How do you approach dating a great guy in a spiritually healthy way? This is a big question. This is a really, really big question and a great question. Okay, so let me take a breath because I want to see how I want to approach this. Okay. We've talked about this before, but I want to really share this because it's really, really important. The most important thing in dating is that we are dating from a place. How do I want to say this? We're dating from a place of being very, very aware as opposed to wounded. Now, my beloveds, we all have wounds from growing up. Even if we were raised by the most lovely parents. You've heard me say this a million times if you watch my YouTube channel, and I have said this on Instagram before. Life is beautiful, and in that beauty are a hell of a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges. And so we do not escape from those. You cannot, I don't care. You guys have heard me say this a million times too. You could be the princess of the most enchanted kingdom in some faraway place. Poo-poo's still going to happen in that magical kingdom. Trust me, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, life is really, really a lot. And we're human beings, and there's a lot that we go through. And so it isn't about, I see a lot of people, and what they try to do is protect themselves from getting into situations that will cause them pain because they think that's the way to navigate life. And it's not, because you end up not living a life. You end up, and this is, I'm not speaking to, this is not Dr. Brittany's issue. I want to be very, Dr. Brittany asked a very wonderful question. This is not her issue. I tried to take the question and answer for the whole community. And then I'm going to dive deeper into specifics, but I really want to start with this. So what happens is that a lot of times, and I say this in my book, people will separate themselves, and it's almost like they run up to the top of a castle and they try to live their lives from the top of this castle and not get involved in relationships because they're afraid of being hurt. I did that for a really, really, really long time because I have been really, really hurt in relationships. And it doesn't work. You can't do it. We cannot make ourselves perfect enough so that someone will love us so much that they'll never leave, or love us so much that we won't get hurt, or love us so much that it will just be quote unquote perfect. It doesn't work that way. So what I recommend in getting in relationships, my beloved, is for us to do the work ourselves. So the first thing we have to do, so this is going to be a multiple pronged approach because this is such a wonderful, wonderful question. The first approach is to invite ourselves, each one of us, invite ourselves to have the courage to do the healing work necessary to go on our own healing journey. Because, like I said, every one of us is wounded. And so from a place of wounding, I'm going to use myself as an example, which is going to be really scary and really big, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's going to help a lot of people. I was raised, God bless him, by a father who I love, who, has a lot of wonderful qualities. But he was completely incapable of showing love. He was able to say, I love you, but he wasn't able to show love. He wasn't able to show affection. He had a tendency to be really harsh and really, really tough. And so what happens is, what happened in this particular circumstance for me. Now, everybody's circumstance is different. There could be another person, guy or girl, who's listening to this. Well, I want to use women first because we're talking about father issues. There could be another woman who grew up with a father who in her eyes was absolutely perfect and could do no wrong. And now she's running around searching for Mr. Perfect. And underneath that is that there is no perfect, because as wonderful as her father was, there were still things going on that weren't perfect. But everybody has their own issues. Everyone, my beloveds, this isn't about trying to be perfect, to try to bypass your issues. This is about being able to become awake enough to recognize that we all have things that we have to heal. And then step number 2, which is huge, have the courage to begin to heal them. And step number 3, have the courage to step back in to the dating arena. But now we're not going to blindly throw ourselves back in and then just, blindly just date and date and date and date and date. We want to instead begin to do what I call conscious dating, which is a really, really beautiful thing. I help my private clients to do this. Conscious dating is very, very different than than unconscious dating. So the thing we want to do after we begin to decide we're going to go on this journey, we decide that we want to have the courage to step forward and have the courage to heal ourselves. After we make those decisions, what do we do where we begin to go on this journey? Well, we have to do it consciously. And so what does that even mean? You're like, hey, Kate, Dr. Elizabeth, great. What does that look like? What does that mean? That means as we go, let's say we decide, okay, I'm going to put myself back into the ring. I'm going to go ahead and go on a date. The first thing we want to do is, I want you guys really, 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 really to hear this, because it's the biggest key in the world. It's the awareness of our blind spots. So we can be conscious. Every one of you guys here are beautiful, beautiful conscious beings. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here if you weren't. You'd be out watching CNN someplace. But you're not. You're here because you're beautiful and highly conscious. And so we can be conscious, but what happens, and this is the thing I want you guys to begin to recognize, when it comes to the wound, and you guys know because this has happened to every single person on this call. I guarantee you, every single person who's dated before. So watch what happens. We decide, okay, I'm going to throw my hat back in the ring. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start dating again. Then a guy comes along and you go, woo! The moment you go, woo, the chemistry kicks in, the white hot chemistry kicks in, all the feelings kick in. And the next step that happens, my beloveds, and I really, 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 really want you to hear this, is most of us go unconscious. Our old wounds kick in and we go unconscious. Now, I don't mean like, bong, someone knocks you over the head, like that. Close your eyes unconscious. You go unconscious from the standpoint of, I'm going to give you guys an example of going unconscious. Let's say you see an ex and you still have unresolved issues with that ex. And he or she, for the men on this call, says something that triggers you, that's always triggered you, about yourself, about what was, what were the issues with your breaking up. And immediately it pushes your buttons. In that moment, my beloveds, you got triggered. You got the fish hook. You got hooked. In that moment, what happens is we go unconscious. So, example of what it looks like when we begin to go unconscious. We react, but we react in a way not from our awareness, not from a place of centeredness, not from a place of balance, not from a place of peace. We react from the wound. We react from a place that is, our awareness turns off and the old wounds kick in and we respond from there. So one of the things I do when I work with my private clients is teach them how to stay in their awareness, how to stay in their knowing, as opposed to getting triggered, click, and then going unconscious. And so that's something that I work on in my group coach. You know what I think we're going to do? The mastermind course I'm launching in September is going to be a 3 or 4 month course. And we're going to attend to this issue because it's a big issue for a lot of people. We're going to attend to this issue along with health and well-being, money, career, and then this issue. Those are the 4 things we are going to tackle and conquer in the mastermind. So just for now, what I would share with you is just begin to hone awareness of when you go unconscious. Oh yeah. Like you could be another perfect example is you're driving down the street, someone cuts you off and you immediately get angry. You've just gone unconscious. Not close your eyes unconscious. Unconscious, you've lost your center. Cool? So to begin today, the first things we have to do. Now, this is, of course, just a short, and when I work with clients, we work in this in very, very in-depth ways. But we begin to hone our awareness, not just in every day like you guys have done, but hone our awareness when we begin to lose our center. That's much different than honing our awareness. Here you are sitting with Dr. Elizabeth. Unless you're triggered about something I'm saying, you're very peaceful and very calm. Now, if you're triggered about something I'm saying, it's a whole different story. But we begin to hone our awareness when we lose our center. And that's key to beginning to be able to date a conscious person in a spiritually healthy way. I will talk more about this at another time, but I really want to just get those points across. So one, you have to wake up and develop your own awareness. Number 2, you have to recognize and begin to hone when you lose your center, which of course is what I work on with my private and group coaching clients. And then number 3, you have to have the courage to put yourself out there. Cool? Okay. Thank you so much, Shako. I hope I said this right. Shako. Thank you. 28 years. Oh gosh. Yeah. Okay, we're going to talk about that, Shako. This is beautiful, but I just want to go over here for a second. How do you deal with relationship where you get verbally abused, but you're so used to that person? Oh my God, this is so huge. We're going to talk about this. So first of all, thanks for the hearts. Thank Dr. Brittany. Thank you for the beautiful questions. Amen to that. Michelle said beautiful. Okay. I'm going to answer one more question here before Dr. Elizabeth goes to see her private clients. I just want to see if there's anybody else on Instagram saying anything. So Dr. Brittany, just send me a message and let me know if that was helpful. And then I really want to talk about this for just a minute. Okay. I got a great question over here on YouTube. How do you deal with the relationship where you get verbally abused all the time, but you're so used to that person you don't want to let them go? This is such a big question, my beloveds. I have to really take a minute to I really want to answer this with the most love and with the most, I really want to be of the most service to answer this question. Okay. When growing up for all of us is tough on our self-confidence, our self-worth, our self-esteem. And so what happens is that as we grow up, grade school can be rough, middle school, junior high, high school, and beyond can be really, really rough. We get rejected. A lot of times we have rejection from either one or both parents. So what happens is that people get accustomed to that and they don't believe that they can have better and they don't believe they can do better. I just want you guys to take a really deep breath, put your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your tummy for just a second. Take a deep breath in. And I want you to say hello and then your name. So for me, hello, Elizabeth. I want each of you to do that, okay? Right now, for real. Eyes closed. I'm going to give you a second to do that. I'm going to do it again myself. Hello, Elizabeth. And now everybody open up their eyes when they're ready and come on back. I just want to say this. Nobody ever has to put up with verbal, physical, or mental, or any other kind of abuse in a relationship. It only feels like that because we've been stuck there for a minute, sometimes for a long time, and we feel like we can't do any better. We feel like we can't get any better. We feel like we become like Beast from the East was saying, we become accustomed to that person, so we don't want to let it go. I want you to know that you can always let something that is not in your highest and best interest go. Now, I will say this first. Beast from the East, you're in a relationship right now. If this person who you're in the relationship is, you're here, so you're aware. If this person also has enough awareness to be here, you can play this video for them. I invite you to begin to work on healing the relationship, if possible, and beginning to create a new and better relationship. If this person is available for that, there's a possibility that you can do that. It's going to take healing why this one person is so verbally abusive and healing why you just have been taking it. That has to happen. If this person who you're with is not available to it, you say, I love you. I want us to work on this. I heard Dr. Elizabeth talking. She said that it is possible, which it is. I have worked miracles in different marriages and relationships. I have. It's possible. But it's only possible if both people are willing. I'm going to say that again. It's only possible if both people are willing. If both people are not willing, it is not possible. And it's not okay for you to stay, because it's not okay to ever be in an abusive relationship. Any kind of abuse. Just because the person isn't hitting you doesn't mean you need to stay there. Verbal abuse and mental abuse and psychological, energetic abuse are all not okay. Not okay. And we deserve to be in a happy relationship. Everybody does. So the first step is to see if that person's available. If that person is touched by your courage and says, okay, you know what, you're right, I have been verbally abusive, I'm sorry, I want us to work on that, then you have the makings to heal that relationship. That person laughs in your face and says, what are you talking about? It's ridiculous, and starts being verbally abusive some more in response to your very heartfelt and loving request to heal the relationship. It is time to go. Let me say that one more time. After your request, your heartfelt request to heal the relationship and work on healing the relationship, if they turn around, are abusive to you, or not willing, or even if they're like, I don't believe in that, that's BS, that's stupid, I'm not going to do it, forget it, it's time for you to go. Because everyone listening here and everybody on the planet deserves to be in a beautiful, healthy relationship where it's mutually loving, mutually supportive, mutually beneficial for both people. So now what has to happen is you have to, if this person doesn't do that, then the person who made the request and was laughed at or shamed or bullied or whatever, then the person has to find their own strength to leave that relationship. They have to find their self-love, their self-worth, their own strength to say, I deserve better. And that's where the journey begins. It's a big journey, but it's not just better. I said that so lightly, I need to say it again. It is infinitely better than waiting till you are, I don't know, laying on your deathbed and looking back at your life and thinking, I could have had real love, but I didn't. And everybody deserves real love. Everybody deserves to be respected and honored and loved in a relationship. Everybody does. And it's possible for everybody. It is. So let me just see if there's anything else I want to say about that. Yes. Okay. I knew there was something else. We get guys, not just in intimate relationships, but in friendships. And I had to let a friendship go recently that was 15-year friendship, and this person just, oof, I need to tell you, it just wasn't a mutually supportive relationship. And I just took a stand for myself. If you cannot show up in a loving way in a beautiful friendship, we can no longer be friends. Doesn't matter how long that I've been friends with this person. It doesn't matter. If in this moment they can't show up, then that friendship it's not okay. So, like I was saying, in relationships, in intimate relationships, in friendships, in career, at work, in all different avenues, we deserve to be treated beautifully. We deserve to be treated with kindness. We deserve to be treated with respect. We deserve to be treated with love. And we deserve to be reciprocated in our kindness, generosity, and love. And if that's not happening, it's time to shift where you are and shift the players in your own game called your life. Remember, you are the star in your own life, and it's up to you to shift the players if it's not working the way you want it to work. The biggest key here is self-love and it's my pleasure, Michelle. It seems so scary when we don't invest in ourselves. It seems so scary when we don't believe in ourselves. From the vantage point, remember, okay, I haven't done this one in a long, long time, but we are going to do this one. Thank you for all the love and thank you for all the hearts, you guys. Okay, let's say we're down here, okay? Because let's say, okay, let's just say someone's vibrating down here because they're in a relationship. It's not good. It's not mutually beneficial. It's even abusive in any way, shape, or form. But people stay there because they've grown accustomed to it and they think they can't have better. It feels safe because it's not safe, but it feels that way because it feels familiar. My beloveds, oh God, okay. I'm getting downloads from spirit so fast I can hardly keep up with it. Okay. Remember, how we show up in one way is how we show up in how we are being in one aspect of our life is how we are being in every aspect of our life. If we tolerate abuse, if we tolerate unkindness, if we tolerate anything that's not of our highest and best, it's not in our highest and best interest. When we tolerate that in relationship, since we are multidimensional beings, what I mean by that, how we are in one aspect of life is how we are in every aspect. It's why when I work with my private clients and I work with my group coaching clients, when we shift one area of their life, every area shifts for the better. So when we let's start here. When we tolerate any sort of disrespect, any sort of abuse, any sort of unkindness, any sort of lack of love or reciprocal kindness, or what we would want in a mutually beneficial and loving, intimate, loving relationship, when we tolerate that in that arena, in that circle of our life, I guarantee you we're tolerating it in our work environment. We're tolerating it in our friendships. We're tolerating it in every other area of our life. But when we begin to say, no, I will no longer tolerate this in a relationship. I don't care how long you guys have been together, either intimate or friendship. It doesn't matter. When you take a stand for your own self-worth and self-love and take a stand for your life, what ends up happening, and Beast from the East, I really want you to hear this. When you take a stand for yourself, one of two things will happen, and either one will be to your highest and best good. Either the person who's been abusive will go, ooh, wow, okay, this person's standing for themselves. Maybe I need to begin to shift and begin to behave myself, begin to grow myself. It's a big maybe. Most likely that doesn't happen unless they're already here listening as well. Then that's a different story. But then the abuse probably most likely wouldn't be happening. Or then what happens is that you decide, I deserve a life that's better, and I'm going to step into that. And then what happens as you begin to have the courage to do that, what happens is as you take a step, watch, you were here, not taking a stand for yourself. You begin to take a stand for yourself. And then as you do that, it feels even better. You take a better stand for yourself. Take a better. We keep raising our frequency. Now we're up here. My beloveds, you've heard me say this since March 27th, my first day I went live in quarantine. You've been hearing me say this for forever on my YouTube channel and my Instagram. What happens is that when we're down here, what are we going to get? More that vibrates at that frequency when we stay down here. But when we're up here, what are we going to get? Someone else who's going to vibrate at that frequency. And so we're going to match at a much more beautiful level. It's kind of like, it's the same answer as Dr. Brittany's question, which is why I grabbed this question second. Because when I saw it, guys, when I see your questions, I see the energy around. I'm answering energetically. I'm answering energetically and clairvoyantly for as many people as possible. So you guys can hear this, you can get this, you can understand this. So we never tolerate any kind of abuse or disrespect. And when we begin to take a stand for ourselves, that's when we raise up, and that's when we begin to bring better into our life. When up here, I guarantee you, Beast from the East and everybody else who is dealing with this particular issue. So first of all, the way we grow is by energetically clearing those blocks in our subconscious, which is the work that I do with groups and with private clients. As we clear that, you can make the choice. From where you're sitting right now, it's virtually impossible to make that choice because all the fear and all the blocks keep stopping you. It's why most people stay in relationships. Beast from the East was just, courageous and honest enough and brave enough to share this question, which is amazing because I really, 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 really hope that it helps. And so when you begin to have the courage to do that, then you begin to have the courage to say, hey, Dr. Elizabeth, I'm ready. I want to clear. I'm going to take your course. I'm going to do the clearing work, because when we begin to step up here, I guarantee you what we manifest from a high vibrational frequency is way, way, way better than what we manifest from way down there. Cool? All right, my beloveds. I think so. Beast from the East, if you want to just give me a little thumbs up or a message just letting me know. Okay. Okay. Boy, there's a lot of this going on. I'm just looking at guys. I said this on Saturday, and 0 people contacted me. 0. So you guys keep showing up here, sharing all these things with me, but nobody is then going and taking the steps. We can show up here all day long. It's not enough. You have to do the clearing process, my beloveds. We just do. We can sit around. Okay, Michelle, if you'd like, Michelle, DM me and we'll talk, okay? Because I would love to have you be in the program. Okay. Okay. So all of these, here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to invite you guys to begin to have the courage to think about taking the steps necessary to begin to heal yourself. And working with me is one of those steps. I invite whoever is drawn to do so, to do so. I'm going to invite you guys. Okay. So I'm going to invite you guys. To just, if you are drawn to work with me, if this is something that moves you, reach out to me, let me know. I'm starting a program in September, and I would love to have as many of you who've sent messages about all these different situations, abusive situations within your partnerships. I'm seeing all of them. Oh, Mark, that's beautiful. Oh, Mari, thank you. I'm so happy that you're enjoying my book. Thank you so much. And I love you too, sweetheart. I love you too. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead. For today, I have to end because I have a client in a couple of minutes that I have to go to. But I just want you guys to sit and digest this. And if this is inspiring to you, if this resonates with you, if you guys want to take the next courageous steps, reach out to me. I would love to work with you. It will change your life. You guys can ask anybody who's been working with me. It will change your life. I promise you, I'm living proof of it. I am living proof of it. It's everything I've been talking about here, Katie. If you want, you can contact me and I can share more details with you about it. Okay, so all right, my beloveds, I love you guys. I appreciate you. I will be back on Saturday, and we will probably will do more questions and answers, and also I will have topics that we will talk about. So in the meantime, you guys can reach out, ask your questions. You can reach out, and I'll give you more information about my program. And I love you guys. I appreciate you so, so much, and I will see all of you on Saturday. Have a beautiful week, and feel free to reach out to me, and yeah, and just know that I really, really, really love and appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, I'm going to end over here on YouTube first. Take care, you guys. I love you, and I'll see you guys on Saturday.